8 years ago this week, we were preparing for the inauguration of the nation's first African-American president. 8 years, that's 2 terms, more than 2,900 days. Let's go through a little bit of Barack Obama by the numbers. When President Obama took office, January 2009, the unemployment rate, just shy of 8%. It actually went up past 10%. Remember the financial mess? The president is very proud of this number. As he leaves office, it's below 5%, now 4.7%. This number, not so much in the bragging department. The national debt, when President Obama took office, $10.6 trillion. As he leaves office, nearly $20 trillion. Over the course of 8 years, 3,575 speeches, remarks, other comments. A lot of talking for any president. Just shy of 1,300 flights on Air Force One. The president gets a nice plane. He's going to miss that one. As he leaves office now, the president tells Democrats, don't underestimate the new guy, and he's trying to offer the new guy some advice.
I think everybody has to acknowledge, don't underestimate the guy, because he's going to be 45th president of the United States. The one thing I've said to him directly, and I would advise my Republican friends in Congress and supporters around the country, is just make sure that as we go forward, certain norms, certain institutional traditions don't get eroded, because there's a reason they're in place.
So what's he mean by that?
I mean, I think that Trump obviously wants to come to Washington and shake things up, and sometimes you get the sense that it's shaking things up for the sake of shaking things up, not necessarily because he disagrees with the way that things are working. And I think what Obama is trying to say is that there are certain things that are in place for a reason. I think that the Obama administration has set a kind of model for how presidents can use executive authority, and I know that there are some Democrats that are worried that Trump will use that more broadly. I think that, frankly, to talk about the press, there are concerns about Trump blocking the press from having access, not for our benefit, but for the public's benefit, to have access to information coming out of the West Wing. So again, I think the question with Trump when he does try to shake up Washington institutions is, what is the reason behind it? Is it just to send the message that you're a disruptor, or is there an actual reason that you're doing this to try to make the town operate better?
And yet there are a lot of things in this town that could use some
Absolutely.
disrupting. Some disruption wouldn't be such a bad thing.
I think Democrats will come to regret President Obama's use of executive power now that Donald Trump is coming to office, because I think you probably could expect him to expand the use of executive power. I mean, Obama expanded it pretty dramatically from Bush. You expanded it from Clinton. And if you see this happening, Trump will as well. Now, Paul Ryan has said that he and Trump have discussed this. They understand there are checks and balances. There's going to be a significantly powerful legislative branch, but we'll see when they get to the aspects of governing and when Trump's agenda, if it does stall in Congress, how does he move things in an executive fashion, and how does that, what kind of response will Democrats have?
But you also have a bit of an unusual dynamic here. You have a departing president who's significantly more popular than the incoming president, who's supposed to be in his honeymoon phase. So you get the sense from President Obama that he knows he has power. He's going to use it. It's going to be a political post-presidency. This isn't going to be like George W. Bush, who kind of retreated to Texas. He's already said that he's going to play a big role in this this group being put together by Eric Holder to deal with redistricting. So I think a lot of Democrats are looking to President Obama to be the leader of their party still. And while I think the White House is cognizant of the fact that they want to make room for other people in the party to emerge, certainly we're not going to see President Obama stepping away from the spotlight.
Republicans learned the mistake of underestimating Donald Trump.
Right.
He wiped the floor with them in the primaries. Have Democrats now learned it? The president seemed to be suggesting there that he said that, which leads you to believe that he thinks some Democrats still need some persuasion that you better take this guy seriously. I know how hard it is to run and win, and he did it.
I think for sure people need convincing on that front. And look, it's tough. He is incredibly unconventional. It took me through the primaries and much of the general to figure this out. The other thing about the president and his influence post-president, I think he does want to have a political post-presidency and be in the mix. But he is popular. But he has been personally popular as opposed to some of the policies being popular. And so I think something he's acknowledged is that the transference has been difficult. And I think that may tend to continue to be a problem after this